starting in 3, 2, 1. What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Nerd Cave News, the one-stop shop for all your video games that you need to know. I am one of your hosts, Zach Dykes, joined along with, in the dark depths of the Forbidden Forest, you can hear the shrieking battle cries of the flesh-eating goblins. Be wary, or they will find you and sacrifice you to the Goblin King, Grimflake the Gruesome.
Okay, that sounds straight out of Lord of the Rings, but I love it. I love it. And it's like we're goblins, flesh-eating goblins. I'm like, is this the intro to the Goblin Slayer anime? Full disclosure, don't watch the Goblin Slayer anime. It's yeah, not family friendly. Just gonna leave it at that. Yeah. So what? Grimflake the Gruesome.
Grimflake the Gruesome. So Grimflake,
Yeah.
where can you
Yeah.
become part of the ship and part of the exclusive crew?
Not in the forest of flesh-eating goblins, I'll say
No,
that much.
no.
But you can join it at patreon.com/nerdcave. Just like our wonderful crew members, Brandon Hicks, Richard Newell, Daniel Sanford, Rushing Waters Yoga, Conductor, Marilyn James, Martin Sager, and Brittany, the Granny Bee Harrison.
Love it. Love it. Guys, you can find the Nerd Cave on a variety of platforms such as Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok. You can watch us live every week for our pre and post show shenanigans, or go over to YouTube and watch the replay of the show. If you like bite-sized nuggets of gaming news, you can check us out over on TikTok. Search Nerd Cave Network on any platform and you will find us. If you don't find us, we're not on there. We have an awesome game club going on right now. We are currently playing Horizon Zero Dawn, the complete edition, between June and July. So come and join us, guys, on that. You can be a part of the discussion over on our Discord channel as we play through it. So come and be a part of all of that awesomeness.
You're Zach, you're just going to binge it all in July.
Yeah, just going to binge it all in July because you're finishing
Yeah.
Ghost. uh,
Yeah.
Trey said, I went to the old Don Bluth movie, The Princess and the Goblin. I haven't heard of that one. Yeah, it's very Lord of the Rings inspired. Julie Bingers? What are you talking? I'm so confused right now. Chat's being silly gooses. So, Grimlock, the Gruesome, Grimflank.
He says you leave July bingers alone.
Oh, July. I was like, who is Julie Bingers? Bingers. I was like, who is this?
Guys.
Who is this? With Game Club, I'm thinking there's a new feature in Discord, and this is just to kind of get everybody's in the chat and anybody in the comments. There's a new feature where we can do kind of like a podcast discussion and bring people in and out of discussion, like me and you, Derek, kind of like head everything, and then we can like bring people in and out of it. So if that's something that y'all would like to do once we finish it up in July, we can set a date where everybody can just come together and we can talk and just kind of like make a a few hours or an hour or so of like a discussion about Horizon, like our favorite things we thought about, all of that good stuff. So there you go. Yeah, I know Grimlock is a transformer. I couldn't remember it. I thought, like, my mind went straight straight to Grimlock, and I'm like, that's not right. It's Grimflank.
Speaking of, just a side note, I'm just gonna bring this up. I like that the new Transformers movie is going to be set in the Beast Wars era.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that one.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. Guys, we got some gaming news to discuss this week. First up is Pokemon Unite MOBA has been announced for Switch in July and mobile in September. Locations, rules of play, and battle pass and other content has been detailed.
Yeah, so, and I kind of forgot that this was apparently last summer that this was announced. I guess it's now coming out of the works. Let's see. You'll be happy to know that according to a new press release posted on the official site, the game is launching on Switch and mobile this year. And as we stated, Switch versions coming up in just, they haven't set a date in July yet, but sometime next month. And then the mobile September. The location, So where will these epic team battles take place? The Hoenn region? Sinnoh? Well, no one really knows. What we do know is that you'll be traveling to the mythical Eos Island somewhere in the uncharted frontiers of the ocean. While competing in Unite battles on the island, players might discover Eos energy, which can be used to evolve Pokemon. You will star as a rookie trainer looking to find glory, and pocket monster friends, of course, in the legendary tournaments. The rules of play: this is a 5v5 game, which means the direct lines of communication and cooperation is key to finding success. You win based on the amount of points you accrue throughout a given match. In ranked playlists, you'll look to earn performance points, which can increase or decrease depending on the results of battle. You'll start at the beginner rank and try to climb your way into master. Even though type strengths and weaknesses don't exist in Pokemon Unite battles, each playable Pokemon will start the match at level 1. They'll gain veterancy through fights against other players and will learn more powerful abilities as the match goes on. Eos energy can be used to evolve Pokemon for even more statistical bonuses. Each Pokemon has a role with its own unique stats: attacker, defender, speedster, supporter, and all rounder. The titles are pretty self explanatory, but as you can see, there are enough for all types of playstyles. Of course, you can't just grab any starter Pokemon and you want to and dive in. You'll need to buy Unite licenses from the Unite Battle Committee with EOS coins earned from combat. Then finally, the Battle Pass and other content. Pokemon Unite comes with a seasonal Battle Pass, which can be leveled up for exclusive rewards. You can also use EOS gems to increase your Battle Pass levels. EOS coins can be exchanged for cosmetic items for your trainer and Pokemon, as well as Unite licenses, as stated above. Gems and coins can also be used as at the EOS Emporium to purchase held items and EOS tickets. Will nab you all the fashionable items you could ever want. So, MOBAs were a big thing
Mm-hmm.
a couple of years ago. They're still kind of, you still have like your League of Legends, you still
League and
have your
Dota.
Smite, you have all that. But and they're still somewhat big, but they're not as huge as they once were. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting that they're going with this. Like
Yeah,
there are a few things. Trey points this out. I think it's very odd the throwing out the type strength and weaknesses. That's been Pokemon's bread
yeah,
and butter from day one, which I agree with Trey here.
yeah,
Like it's weird that they're throwing out like the thing that has made Pokemon like work overall. It's like, okay, well, they've got a fire type. I'm going to use this. Oh, they've got grass. Then I've got to use this. They've got a fairy, so I can use this. They've got ghost, whatever. Like that has been like, it's been a very like strategical
yeah.
game. It's gotten
It's like
more and more.
Pokemon 101.
Yeah, it's like it's gotten more and more over the years, like on that, but it's been something that we've seen for years and years and years, and now it's just like whatever, don't worry about it, just to fit into this MOBA thing, which whatever. And then it's like, oh, you can't catch Pokemon, like you've got to buy it from this like group. It's like, so you're selling slaves? Like, is that that's what this is? Like,
Oh yeah, good point.
you know what I mean? Like,
Human
it's
Pokemon trafficking.
yeah, it's a little weird, like how they're like setting it up. Like,
Yeah,
I guess it's like I don't know, like even having like a part of the game where you go out to this region and you catch the Pokemon and like add more to the game than just the MOBA side of things. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
there could be a lot more
yeah.
depth to it if they wanted it.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess that is the MOBA genre because you're like with every MOBA, your character does start off at base level. Then, as you accrue more points throughout battling, and you level up, you get stronger, and of course, have to buy more items to increase your stats
Hmm.
in game time. So, I guess they're wanting to stick to that like that kind of like Bible formula,
Yeah.
as much as they can. But they're
Hmm.
also ruining the Pokemon formula at the same time. It's like
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. Trey chimed back in. I feel like only will appeal to die-hard Pokemon fans who are just starving for something different. Us old school trainers aren't going to be that into it. Yeah, like it's interesting, but I feel like they're missing some things to make it where it feels like Pokemon instead of a MOBA skin of Pokemon. You know what I mean? Like a MOBA with the Pokemon skin on top of it. So it's interesting. I'm curious to see like how the mobile side of things will work as well.
Yeah.
But Hey, not everybody's got to buy it.
Nope. Nope. It's not for everything. It's just like when they do like Pokemon Tournament, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon,
Hmm.
Pokemon Snap. It's not going to appeal to everyone because they're like side stories. But it's something for everyone.
Yep. Moving on to our second news story of the week. EA to let FIFA Ultimate Team players see inside some loot boxes before they buy them.
Yeah, I put this just for you because I saw this and like, wonder how Zach will think of this. Um, EA is adding a time limited preview packs to FIFA Ultimate Team so players can see inside of a loot box before they can make the decision to purchase. The packs have been added to FIFA 21 today as of the article and will be the only packs available to purchase until the end of the current Festival of Football event, which started on June 11th. Packs that are not obtained from the Foot Store like objective, SBC, or divisional rivals reward packs will still function as normal. On EA's website, there is a blog post explaining the addition of preview packs and how they will work within the FIFA Ultimate Team economy. Previewable packs will be marked by an eye symbol, and when you press X on them, you will go through the dugout animation and then be shown every card in the pack. Keep in mind that at this point, you still haven't spent any foot coins or FIFA points. Knowing exactly what is inside the pack, you will then be able to choose to buy it or leave the screen.
I don't want to go on a
Um,
tangent
oh,
on the
yeah.
is there more? Is there more to this?
Yeah, just one thing.
Okay.
If you choose not to buy a pack that you've previewed, it will then feature a refresh timer, and you'll have to wait for the allotted time to preview another pack.
Okay. Um, I absolutely despise microtransactions. That's
Yeah.
no secret to anything.
They
I,
butter your bread. Stop it.
yeah, exactly. Um, like I feel like this is just a way to try to get around the issues that FIFA, especially in Europe, have caused. Like
Hmm.
EA has been brought to court in the UK and everything because
Yeah.
of FIFA and loot boxes and everything. So I feel like this is a way for them to try to, oh well, we're putting this in there so they can preview what's in some loot boxes. It's not all loot boxes,
Hmm.
it's some, and it's
No.
only
And it's a time limited event,
hmm
and like it's only during like certain seasons.
yeah,
So, and I left this out, but I saw right before you went on your tangent that they said the refresh timer is ridiculous. Like they said when they did it, it was 20 hours and 35 minutes before you could preview the next pack.
you got to
Yeah.
be kidding me.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. So
ridiculous.
it's like, you don't buy it? Well, you don't get to preview it till tomorrow.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Like I understand like there's been so much money made through microtransactions. Battle passes, I feel a little bit different about because it's like you buy a battle
Yeah.
pass, you're guaranteed to get these things if you play enough of the game.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
even like there's free stuff like through a battle pass, like you can do as well. Microtransactions on this level, 2K does this as well as EA. Like it's sneaky. It is like it's not healthy, and especially with people like with like the collector's mentality, it like really plays on
Hmm.
that, and like gambling mentalities, it plays like on people like that. So
Yep.
um it on the outset of it, it's like, oh, they're letting you preview things, but when it's like almost a whole day where you can't preview another thing if you didn't choose to buy it, like that's sleazy.
Yeah.
That's sleazy.
Yeah.
Trey
Yeah.
said, I'm with
It's
you,
like,
Zach.
here, we'll throw you a crumb, but you're
Yeah,
gonna pay for it.
yeah. Trey said, I'm with you, Zach. The moment I see microtransactions in a game, I personally boycott it. I hate it so much. Yeah, like Overwatch started this whole thing, and I love some Overwatch, but
Yeah. Yeah.
Overwatch, like with their boxes, started all of this. So yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Well, let's move on because we could stay on that soapbox for a long
Yeah.
time and wax and wane. Our third story of the
Hey,
day: Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, where apparently have NPCs that understand the world around them, including plants.
Yeah, so I found this interesting because I know they also had like a video yesterday come out on on Sony's YouTube channel that discussed like why like the power of the Snowdrop engine that they're running on, which is what Division uses, and I think also South Park, the sequel game, used as well. That's becoming like Ubisoft's Frostbite engine essentially, but Avatar Frontiers of Pandora is using an upgraded version of Ubisoft Massive's Snowdrop engine to create a far more complex game than previously possible. And that includes a system that will apparently create NPCs that more realistically understand and react to changes in the world around them, like weather or your own progression through the game. A new tech video showcase video for the game shows no new footage, but reveals new details, including the game systems for adding far more vegetation to the world, creating more realistic clouds, and more. Later in the video, lead narrative realization designer Alice Rendell touches on some gameplay changes that come from the improved tech. Quote, the different activities that NPCs can perform in the world and the different animations they have can make the world really feel alive. So, for Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, we wanted to take this one step further and created a system where our NPCs understand the state of the world. For example, weather, player progression, or time of day. End quote. While the video doesn't make totally clear how the system works in a practical sense, technical design director of programming Nikolay Stefanov gave us an example in a separate interview with IGN. Quote, for the big creatures, whenever they are calm, they would obviously walk around trees and things like that. But when they are fleeing or attacking you or whatever, they will just go straight through the bamboo and other vegetation and just completely destroy it. I think it's really cool to be able to see all of these effects that the NPCs have on the environment, as well as you having an effect on the environment too.
That's awesome. Like I know we've seen a lot of games with like destructible environments and everything, but having the NPCs
Yeah,
think about it. It's not just like, oh,
right.
they're just running through something.
Yeah, it's a
It's
more
just
intuitive system.
yeah.
Right. Because I mean, how many times have we seen games where like when NPCs flee, they just like run through the map or whatever? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it takes you out of the immersion.
Yeah. So like this is like a next step, to like how to make a game like feel real. And with this world, especially like the NPCs, the different creatures and all of that, like it's an ecosystem. So like the value for like the plants and all of that, like even if it's like the Navi or whatever, like
Yeah.
they understand like
Yeah.
the value of things and all. I mean, it's a really cool way to approach it. And like, if this goes well, I could see other games adopting it where it's not just okay, they're going to take this route, they're going to run this
Right.
way, or I think it's going to be way more immersive, which I love.
Right. So, I'm excited for that too. Like a little bit more. Like I can't. Obviously, the game's next year, so they have
Mm,
to start laying like little tidbits here and there. But
yeah,
they have to make it last. They have to make you want to salivate for when the game releases.
yeah, exactly. Trey said so. They're trying to take the game immersion to the next level without fully VR drop. Yeah, I think this is a cool way to do it. Definitely a cool way to do it.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's move into our one of our bigger sections of today's show, the Xbox news.
Yeah.
You like that?
Wait, what? Xbox gets some news? What?
Mhm.
What is this?
Xbox Game Studios hires Kim Swift for Cloud Initiative. Do you want me to like break these up, or do you want me to like
uh, just go. You can do the first three.
first three? Cool. Microsoft. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll restart it for everybody so we get it all in one go. Here
Okay.
we go.
Okay.
Xbox Game Studios hires Kim Swift for Cloud Initiative. Microsoft expands design for Xbox program to monitors supporting HDMI 2.1 features, and new Xbox Cloud upgrade means Game Pass games will look and play better.
Yeah. So a lot of interesting stuff, and they had their Xbox Showcase extended thing going on Thursday, this past Thursday. So, oh no, yeah, the 17th, excuse me, because we're on Friday now. But they had some big stuff. Like I know they did some gameplay, like deep dives as well, that we'll get into here in just a minute. But Xbox Game Studios Publishing has hired Portal lead designer Kim Swift as its new senior director of cloud gaming. In a tweet today, the publishing arm announced that Swift's hire was to, quote, accelerate our innovation and collaborate with independent studios to build games for the cloud. Of course, it goes on to say Swift has had a lengthy career at some of the industry's largest companies, going from project lead at Valve on Portal and designer on Left 4 Dead to roles at Amazon and EA. Most recently, she was a game design director at Google for Stadia. A lot of people leaving Stadia.
Hmm.
And where she worked as a creative director for an unannounced first-party project with Play Vista Studios. Um, so that's a cool hire. She has obviously some background in game development and working for companies such as Amazon. So it seems like Xbox, because we talked about it a few weeks ago, that they want to, like, the future, like they want to move past just consoles. Like, yes, consoles want to be a flagship for now, but they want to move past it by just putting Game Pass on anything that's like devices like TVs or like monitors or what have you.
Hmm.
um and we're starting to see that, they're wanting to get serious about the cloud initiative. They see a big future for that one, especially since Stadia is not hitting the mark. Let's just be honest. um then going on now, the cloud upgrade, the monitor thing. um Let me see here. Yeah, it's just going to be part of their Design for Xbox program that they want to just expand upon. Because Design for Xbox, they have a bunch of things like the little watermark where it's like a circle with the green logo is like Design for Xbox. They've
Hmm.
done that with a lot of headsets, with a lot of accessories and controllers. So they just want to do more with that. The new cloud upgrade, let me get into that here. Um, the quote is, the Xbox version has been quite attractive thanks to its value proposition. It includes over 260 games as part of a $15 a month subscription. Up until now, however, the catch has been measly power on the server farm side, since its cloud instances regressed to the base Xbox One console spec. Earlier this month, Xbox execs confirmed that its server fleet would begin upgrading to the Xbox Series X spec, which supports higher frame rates, higher pixel resolutions, faster loading times, and advanced rendering features. So again, they're wanting to double down on the cloud features and make it better. They understand, like, yes, there's console quality games on cloud, and it runs pretty well, but it could be better. It always could be better. Like, they want to hit that, as close to PC
Hmm.
quality as they can. On a mobile device, which is crazy. Like, if you told me 10 years ago, it's like, hey, you're gonna be able to play console quality games on Xbox on your phone, I'm like, oh, so they're doing just mobile versions of their IP, right? And it's gonna look like trash. It's like, no, 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 no. You can stream Forza Horizon 4 and console quality on your mobile device, and I'd call you crazy.
Yeah, like even now it's still kind of mind-boggling the possibility of this. And with
Yeah,
the new hire of Kim Swift, her working at Stadia, working with Amazon, which is working on Luna right now, like having the understanding and know-how of how to avoid the pitfalls of these other systems,
yeah,
it is going to be a great thing for the cloud initiative.
yeah,
And them upgrading to having like better servers is a definite like step that is going to see more people start adopting this, because not everybody can
yeah,
afford a console, but they can afford Game Pass, which comes with Xcloud. You know what I mean? So
yeah, yeah,
it's a way, if you have multiple kids, like I'm thinking about some of the friends that I had in high school. They had like 5 or 6 kids in a family. And it's like,
yeah,
oh, you can't, like, it would be crazy to buy each one of them a system. You know what I mean? But like all of them
yeah.
had cell
I mean, yeah,
phones, so that works.
yeah, yeah. And see, right now, right, if you're a family with four, five, 6 kids, trying to find a console is like pulling teeth. Like, you
Yeah.
just don't have the luck. And not to mention, with the way consoles are being designed now, like, yes, you have your split screen games like usual, but they're not as plentiful as they used to be back in
No.
our day. Now companies are encouraging you. It's like, oh, you want to play with your friends? Well, most of it's online. So Johnny has to buy a console, Susie has to buy a console,
Yeah.
Frederick has to buy a console. So that gets expensive
Hmm.
after a while. So whereas you can just do phones, like, yeah, phones are expensive too, but you can at least buy a lower end phone to run the games, as opposed
Yeah.
to, you don't have a lower end console option. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Frederick. That was such a weird name pool. Like it's like, and Frederick needs
I
a
know.
console. like, 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 what is Frederick? Like, I want to go off on a tangent. Like, what is Frederick's like story? Like, what is like? Is he like into like tennis and like his? Anyway, we could go on and on and
Yeah,
on with that. Um, Trey said if they want PC quality, then they should just, I don't know, make PCs like,
PCs.
you know, I understand where you're going with that. I'm gonna read your next comment. The problem is only phones that are going to be able to do this gameplay well is going to be the newest phone, the newest, most expensive phones. If you want to
Yeah,
look the best, it can. That is, yeah. Like, I think you're going to have like a scaling kind of thing, like depending on your phone, it'll
yeah.
be kind of like the scale of it.
It's gonna be
Um,
like Stadia with the quality depending on your internet strength.
yeah. So I think it's going to be there's got to be a way to like work all of that. But I think this is just an accessibility thing where trying to get more people's hands on the various games that are coming out, and Xbox
Mhm.
is killing it right now, and it's just gonna keep reaching more people, and like they're not about selling consoles, they're about selling experiences and games. So
Yeah.
that's where we're at. That's where we're at. Grimflank, the gruesome. Let's
Hmm.
move to the next story. Let's come on and jam.
Oh yeah.
Let's come
Come
on
on
and
and
jam.
jam with me.
Space Jam: A New Legacy is coming to Game Pass Ultimate. Will be an arcade. Will be an arcade beat 'em up and will have 3 wireless controllers. Hold on, I'm banning somebody right
Yeah.
quick.
Okay. Um.
Go ahead.
So yeah, like, and the Game Pass thing, by the way, I was looking at it. It's going to be a Game Pass Ultimate perk first, like on from July 1st, and then on July 15th, I think, until July 15th or on July 15th, then it'll just become a free to play for everyone. So it's sort of like a Xbox Insider type of thing, where if you have
Mm,
Game Pass, you can go already ahead and play it. But if not, you can just play it when it comes in the middle of the month, when it's free to play.
okay. Well, that's cool that they've got it where it's like early access or whatever, or like timed exclusive to Game
Yeah,
Pass, and then it comes free to play and everything. We've got 2 trailers that we're going to watch. We're going to watch one for the game and then the
yeah,
controllers. So let's take a look. Can you see this, Derek?
yeah.
Okay, awesome. So this is Space Jam: A New Legacy, the game gameplay reveal.
What's up, Doc? A little while ago, we asked fans from around the world to submit their best ideas for an original Space Jam: A New Legacy arcade game. We picked the winners, and our super high-tech programmer, Granny, has been hard at work developing it. On July 1st, Space Jam: A New Legacy, the game, will launch first on Xbox Game Pass Points.
Okay, we're loading. Okay. So, like, just to kind of look at it, like it's like a
Yeah,
beat 'em up and everything. Like, I think it looks pretty
hmm,
cool.
yeah,
I thought it was pretty funny, like Bugs with the boxing gloves. Like, that's one of my favorite,
yeah,
like Looney Tunes, like episodes, if you will, or stories where like he's like in the ring, like boxing and all of that. So I love it.
yeah,
I love it. Amy said, "Come
yep,
on and jam, and welcome to the slam." Uh, Captain Ram Ground Trey said, "Okay, I was super cringing, but when the nostalgia old school Looney Tune games look hit, I'm in." Yeah, like I was thinking the same thing. It was like, I don't know, but like it looks pretty good, and like it being free to play or even on Game Pass before
yeah,
that. It definitely does look like a 90s like side scroller beat 'em up game. So
yeah.
I'm
One of
excited.
those old school games.
I'm excited about it. So let's look at the Space Jam Legacy controllers, guys, for this game. Let's see what we got here.
What's up, Doc? Welcome back to my very own gaming burrow, or as I like to call it, the Bunny Cave. The team at Xbox is launching some exclusive Xbox wireless controllers to welcome you to the jam.
Oh, okay, those are pretty cool.
Play in style.
Yeah.
Become a member of the squad.
The one on the right is the best one to me.
Yeah.
Controller, featuring one of my favorite colors, carrot orange. If you're feeling like a super cyberballer, pick up the Goon Squad controller, but prepare to face me on the court and step into the 1 of 3,000 entertainment cyber voice with this.
Yeah, that's a pretty dope controller.
Yeah.
I just can't wait for you to see LeBron, me, the Toons, and the Goons alley-oop onto a screen near you. Till then, jam on your own with our new Xbox wireless controllers.
Like, I love, like, you can see like different little characters within the controller. The one on the right, like you've got bugs down here. It looks, I can't tell who that is.
Probably one of the goons.
Yeah, and like you've got basketballs, like you've got, it's really cool. The Goon Squad one, like, it looks all right. Like if they did the Monstars, like if they had a controller like just to like throw back to the Monstars, oh, that'd be so awesome. Like I would have killed for an original like Toon Squad like design. Just, you know, like have two throwbacks. Give me the Monstars and the Toon Squad of old. Like I would have bought those like in a heartbeat. Like I would have been all over that. All over that. All over it. All over it, Derek.
Yeah.
He mean Nickelodeon orange?
Yeah.
It does look Nickelodeon orange.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's a little bit more shade of Nicktoons, but hey, it's carrot orange. It'll be fine.
It's carrot.
Because we can't cross streams.
Yeah, it's carrot orange, man. Don't be. It's carrot orange. We own brand. We own. Oh, yeah. Like I think I'll definitely will try it out just to say that I played it. How much time I put into it, I don't know. I don't know how much time I'll put into it. But let's move on to our next Xbox news. New Hellblade 2 trailer shows more behind the scenes, and it's not a direct sequel. Like I'm still confused on that one.
Yeah, I am too. Like they didn't elaborate in the article, and they don't. Like we're gonna watch a video here. It's like a 3-minute long video that's discusses a little bit more behind like the tech and like what their thought process is. At the same time, they didn't elaborate when they just kind of sidestepped it. It's just like, by the way, it's not a direct sequel. How? Senua is literally in the game. Like
Me no. So
me no.
Let's check out this trailer. If you haven't watched Senua, like don't know anything about Senua's Sacrifice, like it's a very interesting game, guys. So here we go. Let's check this out. A saga in the making.
Hello everyone, and welcome to our brand spanking new Ninja House in Cambridge. I wanted to give you an update on the work so far for Senua Saga Hellblade 2. What we're doing right now is building a good chunky slice of the game before we then move into full production to build out the rest. Hellblade was very special for us, and we didn't want to do a straight sequel. We wanted to do something extra special, and so we're making our lives as difficult as possible in that pursuit. The game is set in Iceland, 9th century Iceland, so we've been sending out art and audio teams out there, doing photography, photogrammetry, and combining it with satellite data to recreate large swathes of the landscape.
That's cool.
On the character front, we're building real costumes, scanning them in. We're collaborating with Epic Games to bring you next generation digital characters. On the combat front, we want it to be extra real and brutal. And so Melina, our main actress, has been training for 2 years, and all of our animators have undergone combat training. And so what you're going to see here is not a trailer, it's not a gameplay reveal, but rather a montage of the kind of work we've been up to. Hope you like it.
Will you follow me on this journey? By sea
that almost looks
by
real.
land
Yeah.
and dreams. Through the valleys of despair. Over the mountains of rage.
Like, I love that they're getting
To the
sound and
depths
like
of
how
fear
sound
in
would like
my mind.
refract.
You might see
Yep.
me as weak. But I will show you what
Well, that's been their shtick from the first one, is how they use audio, so it's nice.
Yeah.
with our swords.
We will forge new stories to strike the gods that haunt us. We will embrace our suffering, soothe our scars of grief, and break their siege of our minds.
I like that they're like,
They may
they've
see
like
them
made
as gods,
costumes and like they're actually scanning
we-
those in.
Right.
we will show them what lies behind our eyes.
Gá er í á fjalli, undis njóta.
I guess I cannot see how this is not a sequel. That doesn't make
Yeah.
any sense. You make no sense.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, unless it's like a different like timeline wise, or like
Yeah.
it's like one of those they're doing like some alternate timeline type of thing. You know, that's the only way I could do that. But I like how they're using the photogrammetry rendering to like
Mhm.
and like scanning clothes to make it like so to where like the cloth physics can be more on
Yeah.
point in there probably. But yeah, using fighting techniques is great too.
Yeah, like and the like mocap, like the digital artists and everything, like have been like combat trained so they understand like how things will
Yeah.
actually move. Like that is really cool. Like I played I didn't play all the way through Senua's Sacrifice, but I did play a good portion of it, and like it is really like it was a really good game, like especially like you were saying, like the audio like played a huge part into
Mhm.
like how the game worked overall and everything. So I'm excited to see where this goes, just seeing like the amount of work is going into you know, that is going into this game, like going out and like scanning things, like getting like actual places. So it's not just like trying to make something, it's like actually like scanning, you know, like real world places and all of that. So I like it looks
Mhm.
cool.
So to catch up with chat just a little bit, Murdoch's like Viking. I never played this. Yeah, it's not really so much as Viking as it is like more Nordic
Hmm.
area type of thing. Like there is like some very like Viking influences, but they never really addressed it as Viking in the.
Yeah.
I haven't played all the way through Senua's Sacrifice either, but from what I played through, it's like they don't directly address Vikings. They just kind of like dance around it. They're in like Nordic culture though.
Yeah.
Welcome, Brandon. Glad you can join us, man.
Yeah, man.
Glad you could take some time out of your busy work day, as I know it's probably it's always a busy work day for you. Trey said, I have an idea. The first one was all about Senua's mental state. This isn't a sequel because all these games are about her different issues she is going through mentally. None of this is actually happening. It's all her internal struggle. Huh. That would be great. It's obviously one of those like it was all a dream things, but you know what? I wouldn't be mad because it would tie into their theme of mental health. So,
Yeah,
but
definitely.
we'll see. I'll say, Brandon's like, I'm looking forward to this game. Yeah, me too. From what I've played from Senua's Sacrifice, I really enjoyed it. So I'm really looking forward to the sequel. I seeing this though, because this was revealed at Game Awards in 2019,
Yep.
technically, so this was their teaser, and they showed off the Xbox, like what the Series X looked like. We didn't really get an update last year, and now we're getting an update this year, and it seems like the game's really far off. So my question to you, Zach, is do you think this is a next year game, or is this like further down the road than we think?
From what they just showed, like it seems like it is like 2023
Yeah,
at the
that's what I'm
earliest.
thinking. Like if it comes out next year, like the end of next year, I'll be fine with that. But
Mm,
if it comes out, if they say like April 2022, I'm like, no, I call
yeah.
malarkey.
Yeah, like if they had more to show, then they would have shown it in that trailer. Like it just seems like more progression stuff. It was like you remember when EA was like showing off Battlefield 2, but it was just like
Mhm.
concept art and like just like the vehicles, like it was like an EA presentation where it was that one where they just showed like, oh, this is what we're working on. We have nothing really to show you, but this is
Yeah.
all we're working on. Do you remember that year? It was like
Yeah,
2016,
oh yeah,
something
the
like
little concept thing where it was like they were showing off all their Star Wars things and
yeah.
all that kind of stuff, and it's just like, what is this? Should you even have had a conference?
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of what that felt like was just like showing off a little bit
Yeah.
of like, hey, this is what we're doing, you know. But I'm glad that they're updating us because it, like I said, it has been a while since we have seen something from the game. But
Hmm.
it's gonna be a while, guys. So just buckle in and get you a good old sandwich because you're gonna be waiting for a while. You're gonna go hungry if you wait without a full stomach. You're gonna wait.
Yeah.
Something else you're going to be waiting for is Killer Instinct. Phil Spencer says more Killer Instinct is a goal, just not right now. Which, like, I know Killer
Yeah.
Instinct was a game that came out, like at the launch. It was pretty early on in the Xbox One life cycle,
Yeah.
but I don't
Like,
remember
was it
like
a
being
launch
that big.
game?
I think it might have been a launch game.
Yeah, like, you know, and they did seasons, right? Like it was one of those free to play, but with a season pass or like like their fighter pass or whatever.
Hmm.
Like you can unlock them in game, or you could just go ahead and buy them and get them as they come.
Yeah,
So it did enough to where they did like 3 seasons, and they just kind of like dropped off after that.
yeah,
So it was like popular enough for a little bit, but after that, it's like where to go? Like they
yeah,
just kind of said nothing on it.
yeah.
Um, but um and the reason why it's not in the near future is because there are so many games they like to revisit as a team, and Killer Instinct is one of them. Apparently it has a hugely dedicated fan base with various combatants to choose from and special attacks to master. It's been a vital part of this particular community. That being said, there's not really a demand for this right now, especially so with other fighting games on the market currently, and Xbox working on expanding beyond its current boundaries. He goes on to say, there are so many good games in our catalog that we'd love to revisit. The response when we did Killer Instinct at the launch of Xbox One was fantastic. Not everybody inside of the Xbox organization kind of saw what that game could become. I will just say, Matt Booty and I have discussed many times Killer Instinct and where we'd like to go with it. So, and I like the fact that they're addressing this. It's like people, it's the opposite of Sony, right? Where people will love would to see like a Ratchet, not a Ratchet and Clank, a Jack and Daxter reboot, or like a sequel to that
Hmm.
game, or a Sly Cooper remake / sequel to that. But Sony's like, they didn't outright say it, but they're like, we're focused on what the future brings, not so much what the past brings. Like every once in a while they'll throw you a bone by doing a medieval remaster, but it's not in their cards per se. But I like how Xbox is like putting, at least for right now, whether it's just word speech or whatnot, it's just like, look, we're putting a feather in this cap. We want to come back to it, but we have to pick the right time.
Or are they putting a cap in that feather?
Hey, whichever, man.
Grimflank, if you had a lieutenant that just kept talking and talking and giving
Hmm.
updates on things, you would have a Phil Spencer. Phil Spencer says new Fable game is in amazing hands and is really important to a lot of Xbox fans.
Yeah, because I know it's a beloved thing. I know when Lionhead closed, everyone was distraught because like, oh well, we want to see the series continue, and the game they tried before they closed was Fable Legends, which was like that 1v5,
Mhm.
during that time period where like one player plays as the villain, the other one plays as a squad of heroes, and that didn't turn out so well. They canned that. I think they did like an early preview program, and that didn't do so hot. They were like, this isn't the one. Um, but in the article it says, when Xbox finally confirmed the rumors that Playground Games was taking charge of the next Fable entry following the closure of Lionhead Studios, Fans of the RPG franchise were excited and a little nervous about the new team. While we didn't get a new Fable trailer like we were hoping for during E3 2021, Phil Spencer is giving us a little hope to thrive off of in the meantime. When talking about Playground Games, Spencer couldn't sing the team's praises enough. While we didn't expect him to trash talk a studio working under the Xbox name for a property that is an intricate part of its platform's history, he does draw a good point at another title under the Playground banner. Quote, the only thing I can really say about Fable is seeing the pedigree of the team and Playground and where they set the bar for themselves in building a game. I like that show. I think that showed with the Forza Horizon 5 preview that they had. I think people should just take confidence in that studio director Gavin Rayburn and the team there has that same level of focus on doing something amazing with an IP that we know is really important to a lot of Xbox fans. So we can't wait to show more, but the team is just amazing.
Like, Fable is one of my favorite Xbox IPs, and
Mm-hmm.
it has been so long since we've got a Fable. Like, Xbox 360 was the last generation that we got. We got two Fables in that generation. We got 2 and 3.
Mm-hmm.
2's a much better game than 3. I still enjoyed the third one, but I am ready for a new one. If these cats can do a good job, then more power to them. Like, Lionhead's gone, you know, Molyneux like promised the world too many times. Like,
Yeah.
you know, so
Yeah.
it's like having a group of people that understand the value of this and will give us a solid game and like give us Fable. You know what I mean? Like Trey said,
Yeah.
Fable 4, stop playing with us Xbox. We will not settle. You know, like give us a full
Yeah.
game. Like when they were like, "Oh, we're doing Fable Legends and it's a 1v5 or 1v4 thing." And I'm like,
Yeah.
like
This ain't it.
yeah, this ain't it. Especially like after Evolve was just like a flop and it came out before
Yeah.
Fable Legends. I'm like, yeah, this ain't gonna go well. Like this is not what we want here.
Yeah.
So
Because it wasn't Visceral or like some EA studio also working on it came out on PC and it was dead on arrival, but they also did like a horror 1v5 game too or something like that. So that there was like the craze for like a year and then it
Yeah.
died off real quick.
yeah, I know like we've got, Dead by Daylight and we had
Yeah.
Friday the 13th and everything. Like those
Yep.
were better versions of that kind of like concept and
Yeah.
everything, but the Fable 4 has to be like the originals, like it's got to have a story.
Yeah.
It's got to have like something to drive the players because like I said, Fable is one of my favorite franchises of all time because you got to like decide like who your character was going to be. Are they going to be good? They're going to be bad, like how they're going to look, are they going to this, that, and the other. So I'm excited to see where it goes. I want more. I want to know more. I want to see more, but I want it when it's good. I don't want it now. I want it when it's good. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Exactly. When it's time. Like don't take it out of the oven beforehand. It's gotta be just right.
Speaking of possibly coming out of the oven before it's ready,
Yeah.
Halo Infinite devs are committed to a holiday 2021 launch, says Phil Spencer. Infinite's first multiplayer season will be themed around Halo Reach as well.
Yeah. So, as far as the release date, he goes on to say they're very committed to a holiday release date. Discussing, he's discussing how the Halo Infinite team was approaching the last legs of development, among other topics. Spencer says that the team is currently narrowing down the release for Halo Infinite and already has a good idea for a launch window. We know we kind of know of our range in the 3 to 4 week range. We don't have yet the exact date. There's some other things with some other game timing that we're trying to look at. We'll have better clarity over the summer, but this isn't a month's thing. It's just, this thing is just down to a few weeks. And the rumor going around is they're waiting for the new Call of Duty release date before they put theirs because they don't want to be anywhere near the new Call of Duty because they know those sales will get cannibalized. So that's what I think they're waiting for COD to make their move before they give a date for themselves. And the multiplayer thing, will be their first multiplayer season will be themed around the Heroes of Reach. The news was revealed in this month's Inside Infinite blog over on the Halo Waypoint website. Halo Infinite head of creative Joseph Staten centered the idea that as well as Master Chief, 343 wants the player to feel, quote, at the very heart of the Halo universe. Part of this push to make players part of the story will begin, quote, with the launch of Halo Infinite's first multiplayer season, which 343 is calling Heroes of Reach. At the center of our plans is a goal to deeply root your multiplayer character in the larger Halo universe and give them a vital, active role in the Halo story moving forward. 343 isn't ready to share all of the details on how it plans to implement this, but did share why it's calling the first season Heroes of Reach. Quote, Reach has a rich history. It's a key location for Spartans of old and a focal point for new generations of Spartans preparing to wrestle with the perils and mysteries of a galaxy that has fundamentally changed after the events of Halo 5. Halo Infinite's first multiplayer season takes place at a transformational moment in Halo history, at the pivot point from one generation of heroes to the next. In this moment, your multiplayer hero is waiting just off stage, geared up for battle, and ready to spring into action, and their epic story has yet to be told. So the multiplayer side says to me, because we talked about last week during our E3 special how the multiplayer is going to be free to play. It's going to launch alongside the campaign, but they're also going to do a battle pass. So this says to me, like when they say gear up, they're listening. It's like, all right, it's going to be loot based where you have to continually upgrade your Spartan and make your own Spartan hero your own in multiplayer.
Yeah.
So that's intriguing for me. That excites me because it's like, all right, we have like the bare minimum, like loadouts, the designs, the colors and whatnot. But if I can make my own Spartan my own, that's perfect.
Yeah, I like the idea where it's like this is your own character. You get to make it where it's not just like an operator. Because like you look at Warzone, you look at Apex, you look at Fortnite, any of the other like big multiplayer things right now. It's like you get a skin and you can upgrade your weapons and everything, but the operator stays the same. You might get like a different camouflage or something like that, but it's not piece by piece like Halo's always been. So even getting like more like rare things through that like is going to be an interesting way to go about it. Watching the trailer from E3 of the multiplayer, I was very, very impressed. I know it's a trailer.
I know you were blown away by it.
Yeah, I know it's a trailer and everything, but I was really impressed. Like Trey says, it feels rushed. I'm worried about Halo. Like the story.
Yeah.
Like I don't.
That worries me because they said, "Oh, you'll get the first part of the story." I'm just like, "Oh no, what are you doing?"
Yeah, it feels like they're doing like Final Fantasy VII, where they're like, portioning it out.
100%.
And it's like, okay, here's my plan. Here would be my plan. If the story is not working, like the story is not ready, put out the multiplayer. Put it out.
Yeah.
And let people,
because you're going to have a hardcore fan base for that anyway.
Yeah, like some of that base is going to play the story and everything because people want to see where it goes. But put out the multiplayer and work on the story. Like like once you get the multiplayer going and everything, you have like a portion of the team working on that, but then you have the rest just focused on developing and finishing the story. When it's all done, then put out the story. Don't give us it in parts. Like this is not a telltale game. Like
exactly. Or Life is Strange or what have you. Pick your episodic content.
Yeah, like do it the right way. Like it I don't want it rushed. Like, if you have to segment it out with, give me the multiplayer first. Like that'll satiate me for a while, but like I want to be able to enjoy the story, and I don't want to be like, oh, well, I've got to wait 6 months before the next part, like that's never been Halo's thing. So like, I understand trying to make it all work, but, just put out the multiplayer part. That's all you got to do.
Yeah. Yeah. And my thing with that, like, just to touch on a thing here is if you're going to try, yes, it will be day one on Game Pass. So it'll make the little pain go away just a little bit. But at the same time, if you're going to charge like $60, $70, it better give me all, like, if you give me part one, it better give me the rest of the parts. Like it's depending on how long, because I mean, if it's just going to be, but now if you're going to charge me $70 for each episode you're going to do, I'm out. I'll just
Yeah.
play it directly on Game Pass. You won't get my money outside of that.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, that would be really really bad thought process and everything. And I agree 100% with Trey's statement here. Newer games need to learn the patience of old. If you want a great game, you need to wait and let developers do their job well. And that's the problem is everybody has got a megaphone where they can tweet directly at developers, directly at, the companies and everything, and they're the vocal minority that's just yelling at them. Why don't you have this game out already? It's like, dude, we
Right.
like Halo Infinite has been being developed for a long time. I'm not, giving them
Right.
excuse. It's been worked on for a while, but it's like I would rather like I think about the E3 where we saw like the infinite play, like the gameplay and all of that, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
this look bad, you know,
No.
and
like in real time it looked fine, but then when you slowed it down, it was like, oh,
yeah, it was just like
this
it was
she need
like
a little more time in the oven.
yeah, it's like you can put makeup on a pig, but it's still a pig. So
Yep.
like I agree 100%. Like let it go longer. Like let the development happen longer. Put out just the multiplayer, like I was saying, and just let that be the way it goes. You know, let that be the way that goes.
Hmm.
All right, we're gonna crank through this, guys, because we're at almost an hour here. Brandon says, when
Yeah.
will people realize rushing developers will result in Cyberpunk and Outriders type of issues? Yeah. If only, guys.
Yeah.
If only, like the same people that rush those are the ones that complain the loudest and want the refunds. And it's like, if you would
Yep.
just leave it alone, you would get better games. Get better games.
Yeah. Yeah.
Talking about better games, this is the return of the Legacy PlayStation News segment. Sony wants to support crossplay more, says Jim Ryan.
Yeah. And it's like a does statement. It's like it's like they finally see the light because they were
Yeah.
the ones that were hesitant. They were like holding it close to the vest, like, we don't want to play with other people. Then people, then their fan base was like, but we want to, and we won't give you money. And Sony's like, all right, I guess we'll allow it. And what a concept. In an interview with Axios, Ryan clearly stated that, quote, we support and encourage crossplay, while also noting that crossplay currently works with such big games as Fortnite, Rocket League, Call of Duty, Minecraft, and Destiny 2, the last of which will be available soon. PlayStation doesn't plan on stopping there, and Ryan confirmed that, quote, the number will continue to grow. This is a welcome acknowledgement from Ryan, especially following the controversy from 2018 related to Fortnite. After Fortnite was released on the Switch, blah blah blah. Okay, that's the end of the quote. Yeah, it's sort of like a does statement now coming from Sony, but it's like a does statement at the same time coming from Sony and all their hesitancy in the beginning. It's a good thing. It's like we're open now. We're more open minded. It's like, all right, thanks. I'm glad it took you several years to realize this, but better late than never.
Yeah, it's like Sony is like very slow to change and adopt new things, but also
Yeah.
being like at the forefront of like doing some like amazing new technology things. But it's like when there are things that other people are doing, they're like, yeah, we don't want to do that until like the fans are like, hey, we would like you to do that. And it's like, oh, you know what I mean? Like Game Pass, it's like, oh, we've got to figure that out. It's like you've had the possibility of doing that this whole time. So I'm glad to see that crossplay is doing more. And one of the games that you didn't list on that list of crossplay games, a great one that y'all should all check out, Knockout City. You can try it for free.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That's great.
So
It's great.
well, it did say big games. I guess Sony doesn't consider Knockout City a big game for them.
You shut your trap.
It is a big. I enjoy it just as much as anyone, but I'm just saying.
It's a good game. Guys, check it out. We play it on
Yeah.
here. Moving on, Sony CEO believes company will hit 22.6 million PS5 sales between April 2022 and March 2023. Like that number seems so low, but I know like we're having like
I know.
shortages and everything, but it's just like I don't know. It still boggles my mind.
I know, and I thought, since PS5s were so hard to get when they first released, I didn't think they would sell that well. But then the Sony came out and said, yeah, no, it's on track for where the PS4 was in its first year. And it's like, oh, okay. So because we're all like, now we're at a point with
Mhm.
PS4s where they're just like selling in the hundreds of millions, and we don't think about how it started, right?
Yeah.
So now when they say, oh, this is keeping pace right now with where the 4 was, it's like, okay, maybe it's not as bad. Like you want to know
Mhm.
how much I want to know how much that is scalpers, or
Yeah.
whatnot buying them, but at the same time, the fact that just from a base level perspective that it's keeping pace is nice. And I like how they're giving a far out number. It's like, all right, we want to hit this by next year. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, you're setting realistic, because there's, we talked about it. There's a rumor that they're trying to get other parts to make the PS5s to
Mhm.
get them out faster. So I think they're just giving themselves enough cushion to where, like, to give themselves enough time to do that and make the consoles. So it's a
Yeah.
wait and see.
Yeah. Curious to see where it goes. Moving on to something that is a possibility. The Final Fantasy Origins leaker says an ambitious Bloodborne remaster is releasing on PS5 later this year.
Man, what's with all these rumors that all of a sudden these games, like, Sony's been quiet about like the
Mhm.
latter half of the year. I know there's supposedly a rumored event coming in July, but like a state of play or what have you. But what's with all these big games supposedly coming out later this year all of a sudden, when there's like been no rumors out of that? Because
I don't
the
know.
leaker behind this, leaked Final Fantasy Origins, which did end up to be true at
Mhm.
the Square Enix E3 presentation. And I know people have been wanting, like, Bloodborne has been a topic of
Yeah.
discussion because it's like, where's my 60 frames a second upgrade? And there's been talks about a PC port, but now it's like, all right, Sony's like, we're not going to give you either of those. We're going to just give you an ambitious PS5 remaster and be done with it. So maybe you'll
Yeah.
get your 60 frames that way. But I still think a PC port should be in the cards if it isn't already. There's another exclusive that may get a PC port we'll get to later on. Um, but yeah, I know it's a beloved game. It was one of the best
Mhm.
games when it to come out in the early stages of the PS4 life
Yeah.
cycle. So I know it'll have a fan base, and with the Soulsborne's games, they already have a rabid fan base as is.
Yeah.
So I'm excited if this ends up to be true. I don't think it'll be this year. I think, again, like with the um with another game we'll get to that's supposedly this year, um it'll be announced, but it'll probably be next year. But
Yeah.
we'll see.
Like, it's interesting because, like, Bloodborne, like, being, like a, Dark Souls, demons, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
it would do so well on PC. Like, it would hit a whole nother like segment. So like it would just make sense to like release that remaster, like the PS5
Yeah.
remaster on PC and just be done with it. Like do it day and day and like get people on it because it's an older PlayStation game, but people love it. People love it. So
Yeah.
time will tell. Time will tell.
Yep.
All right, Murdoch, you have a great lunch and we'll see you later, buddy. Forspoken
See you,
is
bub.
Forspoken is aiming to achieve the highest quality visuals ever seen in an open world game, and we use AMD Fidelity FX.
Yeah. So of course this is another PlayStation exclusive. I like how big they're going with this. Highlighted on Reset Era, Takashi Aramaki, studio head of Luminous Productions, revealed that the game will use AMD's Fidelity FX super resolution technology, which will help boost frame rates on PS5 games as they are equipped with AMD GPUs. Going on, Aramaki says, quote, implementing cutting edge AMD technology in the development of Forspoken is an embodiment of that philosophy. With Forspoken, we are aiming to achieve the highest quality visuals ever seen in an open world game. I think this is cool. I mean, the Forspoken already looks like a great game. I'd like to see how it runs on a higher resolution. How they're going to squeeze everything out of it that they can. So it's going to be like, I know Forspoken's a next year game, so I look forward to seeing how it develops.
Yep. Curious to see where it goes. Don't know much about it yet, so we only can see.
Yeah.
Let's put these next two together, and then we'll do the next ones after that kind of together as well. Death
Yeah.
Stranding's director's cut has been confirmed as a PS5 exclusive. New stealth mechanics have been added to the game, and I know we just got like the PC version of that recently out and everything. And then Insomniac is staffing up for PlayStation 5 multiplayer project.
Yeah. So, and that can kind of confirms like, so touching on the multiplayer project first, they're hiring for a creative director, a systems designer for multiplayer, story lead, art director, and visual FX artist. So that goes in line with the story we covered, about a month ago,
Hmm.
talking about how Sony wants to get more in the multiplayer space with their IP. So it just goes hand in hand with that. I know Naughty Dog's gearing up for one of those. Horizon, they're supposedly, or the Guerrilla Games, their supposedly other project is a multiplayer centric game. We'll just have to see. But the Death Stranding, the director's cut, is going to be a PS5 exclusive, because there's been rumors, because Phil Spencer like did a video in the Bethesda welcome video where he had like a statue from Death Stranding in the background, and
Hmm.
everyone's like, "Oh, it's coming to Xbox," and I guess it's going to be put on hold for a little bit, whether this is a timed exclusive or not. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah, like if it comes to Xbox, like it'd be interesting since Sony has foot the bill for like development and everything. So
Yeah,
I'm curious to see if that does happen. But I'm glad that they're doing a PS5 exclusive and they're actually adding more to the game. It's just not like a port up to it. So
yeah.
yeah.
And Nintendo's good about that, right? They understand if
Mm,
they're going to charge $60 for a port, they want to add just a little bit more extra.
yeah. Yeah. I'm glad more people are kind of seeing that. But let's move into the big story of the week, guys.
Hmm.
Ghost of Tsushima only on PlayStation branding has been removed, sparking a debate about it becoming a PC port, which, we've seen several of these like
Yeah.
happen recently. We got Horizon that's went over, uh,
Hmm.
Days Gone, Death Stranding.
Yep.
You
Yep.
know, when
Uncharted 4 has been rumored to be
mhm,
coming over.
when we see, like God of War go over, like I think we're
Yeah.
gonna start seeing some of the larger titles. Ghost going over this quick is interesting.
Yeah, I was just gonna say this is the closest from console release to PC. I
Hmm.
mean, depending on when it releases, right? Like I think
Yeah.
it'll get confirmed later this year, and then I think it'll come out early next year. I don't know if they want to like rush this out, for a holiday
Hmm.
release. They could, but I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. I'd be
Because they
curious.
did do two PC releases last year, because Death Stranding was middle of last year, and then Horizon came out in August. So
Yeah.
they could.
Maybe they're trying to shorten the lead time between it releasing on PlayStation, where it's like kind of like a six
Yeah.
month, exclusive on
Mm.
the console, and then it goes to PC.
Yeah, probably.
So
So,
we'll see.
but but
We'll see.
yeah, but I'm excited. And then this one, Ghost of Tsushima is reportedly getting a standalone expansion named Ghost of Ikishima.
Hmm.
Um, you know, Sucker Punch Productions' thoroughly excellent Ghost of Tsushima is reportedly getting a standalone expansion later this year, which will be known as Ghost of Ikishima. That's at least according to the co-founder of Xbox Era and a reliable tipster in their own right, who claims that Ghost of Ikishima will be along the lines of a standalone offering like Spider-Man Miles Morales and Uncharted The Lost Legacy. Um, Furthermore, they added that the expansion is going to be single player, although no platforms have been hinted to at yet. So this is intriguing because I like Miles Morales. I didn't play Lost Legacy, but I heard good things. I'm fine with a standalone. Like, give me more. Just give me, like, we were talking about it before the show went live. Like, give me more of that world. Like, it doesn't have to be on the same level as Ghost of Tsushima, but as long as it's up to par with the quality of what that game brought, I'm fine with. I Again, like with the Bloodborne remaster, it's weird that we're all of a sudden getting rumors that, oh, it's going to be announced and come out this year. And again, the turnaround, like Miles Morales was a 2 year wait in between Insomniac. Now, granted, Insomniac was also working on Ratchet and Clank at the time, and they're working on a full sequel to 2018 Spider-Man. So I don't know how big Sucker Punch's team has increased. Like, I know Sony has poured money into just beefing up their teams, increasing their staff to do multiple projects at once to ramp out more exclusives. At the same time, I I'd be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised, because I know the Legends update was a fast turnaround right away.
Hmm.
Just a few months after the base game. At the same time, I think it'll get announced this year, but I think it'll be released next year.
Yeah, like it seems like too fast of a turnaround for it to be this year.
Yeah.
I'm curious, like, if it is Jin that you're playing with. Of course, I haven't finished Tsushima. Um,
Yeah.
I'm curious to
The
see, like,
rumor going around it'll be some of the side characters that are show up in the game.
oh, okay. Yeah,
Hmm.
I'm curious to see who is going to be like your playable character and everything.
Yeah.
Um, as long, I know that they will take good care of the game,
Yeah.
and do it the right way. So I'm not necessarily worried about that. But with an
Yeah.
expansion like Golden, not a Golden Abyss, the Uncharted game,
Lost Legacy.
Lost Legacy, like was phenomenal. Like I really enjoyed it. Like um Chloe and Nadine, like it was great to see like them and develop more of their character. I'm playing through Miles Morales right now slowly. Um,
Mhm.
like I would love to see, more of the other characters fleshed out. Maybe the warrior monk, like that would be cool to,
Yeah.
play as
Yeah.
him.
Noriko or Naruto. Yeah, I love him. I would love to see him show up in that.
Yeah, or like Yuna, like I could see her, like she would fit more of
Yeah.
like the ghost mentality, more than the samurai side of things. So
Though I would be remiss if I say I would also want Lady Masako in there too.
ooh, yeah. She
Yeah.
crazy though.
Yeah.
She crazy.
Yeah, she is crazy, but she's reliable.
Oh
So
yeah. Yeah, she's reliable, but she crazy. Um Dan says my only complaint about Miles Morales was how short the game was. And like
yeah.
Lost Legacy was it was about 8 hours in total, the game and
Hmm.
everything. But when, like, as long as they're saying, okay, this is an addition to, because I think that was the problem with Miles Morales. They didn't say that, like Lost Legacy started as DLC, but it was too big to be considered a
Yeah.
DLC. Like, it was so
Yeah.
big that was more than DLC. So, like, going in it with that mentality, like, is you know, a way to think about it. Like I haven't finished Miles Morales,
Yeah.
but that's kind of how I think about it. It's like it's just like a big
Yeah.
DLC pack, that you're paying,
Yeah.
$40. I guess I don't know how much Miles Morales
Yeah.
was.
It was 50 at launch. Well, I think it was it 40 or 50? I think it was 50 across the board. Yeah, they only did the Ultimate Edition, which I wonder if they're going to do for Ghost this time around because
Mhm.
the Ultimate Edition was on PS5 and it gave you the Spider-Man 2018 remaster.
Okay.
I wonder if they're going to do it for Ghost, where it's like, all right, you get the PS5 remaster port of Ghost, included with Ikishima.
Yeah. Yeah. It's curious to see. Um, we'll hit this question from Brandon, then we'll get into the quick hits. He says, I wonder
Yeah,
if the next Spider-Man game, if you play as Pete or Miles, depending on the mission, or the two characters play together.
I'd be better off because I mean we kind of minor spoilers for 2018 Spider-Man guys. So quick hit mute for like 5 seconds. You kind of had that a little bit in Spider-Man 2018. So I don't want to. Yes, with Miles in a suit now, I would. It would make sense to do it that same way, but I'd feel more about like what Dan says, Spider-Man co-op. Like
Mm,
do like a joint mission. Like I don't know necessarily if co-op's the right way to go, but at least like other games, like with in Last of Us One, where you're playing as Pete or Joel and you're giving Ellie/Miles things, giving them commands, or like Atreus from God of War.
mm-hmm. Yeah, like we see it at the beginning of Miles Morales, like the two are working together to take down Rhino, but you're not really
Mhm.
necessarily like in control of Peter or vice
Right,
versa.
right.
But yeah, doing it more like it is, God of War, where you're controlling them, or like if you think of,
Hmm.
um, I'm trying to think of, there's a game where you can like swap back and forth with different characters. Um, Marvel Ultimate Alliance. I think if you play single player, you can swap.
Yeah,
It could be sort of like
yeah.
that. Um, I'd be curious to see who they focus on, because Spider-Man 2 could be focused solely on Peter, or we could get, somebody totally new. We could get Spider-Gwen or
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
who
Who
knows?
knows what we're gonna get in it? So
Exactly.
I'm glad that they're building out the world though. That it's not just one Spider-Man, because Peter had been doing it for like 6 or 7 years at that point.
Yep.
Yeah, I do remember that Spider-Man. That was the Spider-Man Ultimate, I want to say. It was back on the PS2, which was a really good game. Like, you played as Spider-Man, and you could play as Venom. It was a really good game. I love that game.
Yeah.
But let's move on to our quick hits
Yep.
for the week. With Grim Flank.
Starting off, Xbox Design Lab reopens, letting gamers customize the Xbox Series controller of their dreams. Listings for Alan Wake Remaster and Final Fantasy VII Remake have been seen on Epic Game Store. The Thanos Cup event in Fortnite is going on currently and gives players a chance to win a Thanos skin complete with a fully decked out Infinity Gauntlet. Zombie Army 4 DLC brings Left 4 Dead's Bill, Francis, Lewis, and Zoe as playable characters. EA will reportedly reveal a fan favorite series revival at their EA Play event on July 22nd. Rumor is they're going to bring back Dead Space. I would be stoked if that's the truth. Psychonauts 2 reportedly had no crunch. Again, just like with Rift Apart. Great to see that. We don't get enough of that in the gaming industry. Minecraft gets Sonic the Hedgehog pack to celebrate the 30th anniversary. Overwatch Crossplay beta is now live on all platforms. PAX West 2021 confirmed to be an in-person event with safety precautions. Bayonetta 3 still exists and is progressing well, according to Nintendo. Guardians of the Galaxy will have a streaming mode to avoid DMCA claims on copyrighted music, as you can see from the trailer last week. That's going to be definitely reminiscent of the movie, so that I could see. I'm glad they're thinking ahead for that. WB Games officially sticking together for the foreseeable future. Nintendo is shutting down Splatoon 2's online lounge feature on July 28th. Rumored Battlefield Hub is coming to Battlefield 2042 and will feature remastered classic maps. Aliens Fireteam Elite launches on PS5, PS4, Series X and S, Xbox One, and PC on August 24th. Physics puzzler Human Fall Flat is out now on PS5. Borderlands 3 crossplay is now live. However, PS5 and PS4 aren't supported, which was a rumored about a month ago, and now it's confirmed to be a thing. Battlefield 2042 will also feature up to 64 AI bots if there aren't enough human players to fill lobbies. Kings Canyon map is returning to Apex Legends next week. Quantic Dream job listing points to multiplayer and microtransactions for its next game. Right up your alley again, Zach. And lastly, Dying Light 2 multiplayer has the host making key choices, but they won't affect your solo campaign.
Quantic Dream. I don't know what you're doing. Real quick, awesome things. Alan Wake Remaster coming to Epic Game Store. I love. That's awesome. Psychonauts 2 not having any crunch. That's great. I love that.
Yep.
Overwatch Crossplay beta happening right now. Got to try that out. Really excited for that. Guardians having a streamer friendly version of the game.
Yep.
That is going to be so great. Like, I want more games.
That's definitely forward thinking.
Yeah. Like trying to play Kingdom Hearts on stream. It's like
everything's
muted. Everything's muted. It's like I'm trying to make anyway. And then what was the other one? Bayonetta 3. I believe it when I see it.
Right, exactly, 100%. I see better than I hear.
Yeah. Well, guys, that is the quick hits with Grim Flank this week. We hope that you enjoyed the whole show. Make sure to jump into our game club. You can join us over on Discord to put in your clips and your screenshots and just discuss what you're doing in the game. If you got any questions, anything like that, that's where to put them. We want to hear your opinions on the game. Really excited about Game Club. June and July, we're doing Horizon Zero Dawn, the complete edition. And then after that, we've got a new game, guys. So you got to jump on it right now. You don't want to miss out. FOMO. Guys,
curse.
Thank y'all so much for joining us on this awesome episode We love you. This has been Zach.
And Grimflank the Gruesome.
Y'all have a blessed week.